Hey, what's up, metalheads? Today I'm going to teach you guys how to make a scrap metal motorcycle frame, metalhead mark style. Okay, so if you take a look at the frames of my bikes, all of them are pretty much exactly the same. The basic frame is pretty much exactly the same. I've just tweaked the design over the years. This is one of the original ones. And if you look at all my bikes, I don't connect the backbone to the rest of the frame. I leave that piece right out. And the reason for it is it always gets in the way of the exhaust pipes, and it makes them stick out a lot farther than they need to. So I leave that right out. That allows me to keep the exhaust pipes tucked in close, and it just makes for a sleeker design, I think. Here's another one that I made. Same thing. If you look at it, the part right here does not connect to the backbone, but this one's covered up by the exhaust pipes anyways, so it doesn't really matter. 99% of the time, nobody even realizes it unless you point it out to them. But the problem I had with the original one was I always took the backbone and I would weld it right to the tire, which it worked great, and I would try to cover up that weld with the fender, but I always had to stop the fender here because I couldn't get it past the backbone. I wanted it to go all the way down to the bottom here, but if you look close, there's a little slot in there that covers up the ugly weld on the tire. But I was never really happy with it, so I come up with this design. This design allows me to go all the way to the bottom, and I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so the solution that I come up with, this is a bike I'm working on right now. If you look at the tire, what I ended up doing was I ended up drilling a hole right into the tire. And this part of the backbone that sticks out, I plug it right into the tire, and it holds it nice and tight. And what that allows me to do, this is a fender that I made out of an old water pipe. If you're interested in me making a video on fenders, let me know in the comments, and I will do that. But if you look at it, see how I drill a hole in there? This fender is not done at all. It's just basic shape. So that allows me to put the fender on like that. Now the fender goes all the way to the bottom like I want it. That's held in nice and tight. And then when I'm done, what I like to do is I will weld the tire to the frame right there and right there. And that holds that tire nice and tight. It hides the weld underneath so you can't see it. Anytime I can hide the weld, I hide the weld when I can. I'll show you in later builds. But that's the solution that I come up with. We're going to build this frame similar to it right now. Alright, so when I make my frames out of 3/16 stainless steel rod. I buy this at Home Depot. It's like $10 for about 3 feet or so. This one's 7.5 inches long. The first thing I do is I put the points on the end there. And that is basically, it just points to the middle of the back wheel there. And how I do that is I take my drill and I put that rod right in the drill. Now, I'm sure there are better, safer ways to do this, but this is how I do it in my garage. I just clamp my grinder in my vise But be warned, this can be very dangerous. So make sure you got it clamped in there good and tight. All right, so after I got the point on there, I marked down 1 inch and I weld it together at 7 inches. This one is going to be, I'm going to make this a little shorter than this one. I think this one was 7.5 inches. I'm going to make this 7. I'm going to put it down just a little bit. And this here is my jig. I use this and I bend the frame around this. Now this side is about 110 degrees. And the other side, well, the other side is 45 degrees. So, and see, that's the front and that's the rear. Why do I put that on there? Because I've bent it backwards too many times. So, basically what I do is I put it in there. I kind of line that up at that line. I clamp it in my vise, and I bend that side around, then I bend that side around. And when you're done, it'll look something like that. Let's compare it to the other one here. So I can't put them side by side because this one's got the gear shifters on it, but I can go like this. If I stand it up beside it, I can go down like that, and they're basically the same. So that's why you make a jig. Alright, this is my frame jig. And basically all I do is I clamp it in there like that. Take my back wheel here, stick it where it's supposed to go. And when I put it in there, I make sure that those points are pointing half-ass to the center. And then I take the old backbone of the frame here. And I put it just like that. Next step is to weld it right there. There you go, basic frame complete. Let me know what you think in the comments. Still lots of work to be done. Lots of cleanup. A few other things to do, but pretty much complete. I still gotta add the tube for the forks. I don't know what I'm going to make. Might make a big chopper, or let me know what you want in the comments. You guys want to see a big chopper, or what do you guys want to see? See if I can get the motor in here. Where's the motor at? Try to do it one-handed. Something like that. It's coming along. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Remember, this is my first video where I try to show somebody how I make it, how I make a bike. I'm sure I'll get better in the future. Let me know what you think. See you next video.